And I think overall, these three sets of interests, very much they're linked in many ways. They are overlap. Global leadership in some ways depends, our US global leadership position depends on intervention on issues like HIV/AIDS. Security ultimately depends on good governance and economic growth. But there are also areas of great tension among them. And I think we've tended to think that all good things go together, so that democracy, economic growth and development, humanitarian service delivery, in good security partnerships all go together. And I think in today's context, when we have many more interests, more expansive interests, we're starting to see some of the tensions and contradictions, in the short term at least, among these various interests and our emphasis in US policy. So that some of our best security partners are largely authoritarian. Some of the better economic performers, as we've heard today, are not particularly democratic. We find ourselves accused of kind of double standards and hypocrisy in our engagement with those. And I think one of the great challenges for US policy is to deal with this balance of interests going forward, to find those places where they overlap, to balance them where they do come in tension, and to make sure we're getting that balance right. And to make the case that ultimately they do converge. Yes, Ethiopia and Rwanda are doing very well. Is there, economically, but is there a limit to what you can achieve with an authoritarian government in terms of economic growth? To my mind, there's the possibility that economic growth stifles innovation, risk-taking, the things that really lead ultimately to economic transformation. And we're seeing China kind of grappling with the problem of not liberalizing politically while the economy liberalizes. So I think that's going to be a dilemma of the US, for US, because we have to balance the administration needs to balance domestic constituencies, which are often kind of moved by the values agenda, but also a business community that's going to be moved more by the direct interest. We have security issues that are going to take on direct interests. There are places like the Ebola crisis where all three interests are at play: direct security of the homeland, the humanitarian, and the global leadership issue.